Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tech Talks 101 powered by FCode Labs. And today we'll be talking you through about the researchers carried out in the field of human-computer interactions. And to speak about these researchers carried out in the field of human and computer interactions, today with us have a person, not the usual kind of person that we would have from the university or this country, but he is actually from China, and he is currently working for Oppo as a senior human and computer interactions engineer. So just to tell you a bit about himself, he's coming from China and from the Zhejian province, and he studied his bachelor's at Zhejian University, and he has a double major in energy and environment systems engineering and also industry design. And he did his internship in the Singapore University for Technology and Design, and then he moved into the University of Auckland for his PhD. And like I said, he's currently serving at Oppo as a senior human and computer interaction engineer. So today with us we have Mr. Yilei Shi. Hello, Mr. Yilei Shi. How are you doing these days?
Hello. Good. Yeah, I'm doing good these days, and pretty busy actually. Working Oppo, you have a lot of works to do, and but also you enjoy the team, you enjoy their the environment of working, and you are building like new technologies, so you will feel fun.
Yes, great. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation and taking your time off to just go ahead with this podcast. So speaking of that, could you please tell us a bit about? So you're coming from the Zhejiang province and from the Zhejiang University. So Zhejiang University is also a very famous university in the world with its academic and its history as well. So could you tell us a bit about yourself, your academic background, and how has your path been up to now?
Okay. Actually, I was born in Zhejiang, so I grew up in Zhejiang, and Zhejiang actually is a province that near the sea. So when I was young, I would sometimes go to the beach and play, and I look for like crabs, and then catch them and go back home to cook. So I finished my undergraduate in Zhejiang University, as introduced. Zhejiang University was a pretty good university actually in China, and also we will see like it's ranked after like Tsinghua University and Peking University, and we're around like ranking around 3 to 5, and it's a pretty big university. And during my undergraduate, I like got two like a bachelor's degree. One is for energy, or about energy, and the other one was industrial design. And also industrial design is my inspiring like before I head into human computer interaction, because I learned a lot of things about design and this kind of little bit coding, and also model 3D prototyping, some this kind of things. And then these kind of things made me like interested in DIY some things, and also about how we can interact with the products, this kind of topics. So that's why later I went to the augmented human lab to learn human computer interaction.
Okay, great. So moving from there to your PhD at University of Auckland, is there a specific reason that you choose to move into the field of human and computer interaction, or is it because of the exposure that you got through industrial engineering, like you mentioned?
Yeah. Partially because of that. Because of that, I learned like products, how to design products, and also a little bit of coding, as I said. And actually, it's also a coincidence, because previously I was looking for some like subjects or some topics that is interesting for me, and I actually applied for another topic, but then I was recommended to Thuranga by this professor, and uh, after we like have a pretty happy and talk chat, me and Thuranga, I found, yeah, this is a correct direction that I want to learn more. I want to do my PhD, and then I decided to go to SOTD which is Singapore University of Technology and Design, and then pursue my PhD. But later, as you learn that I and Sranga, the whole lab we moved to the University of Auckland. So that's things happened after that.
Great. So how was your experience reading for a PhD at University of Auckland? How did University of Auckland served you as a destination for your higher studies for your PhD? How has that experience been?
Yeah, actually, the University of Auckland was a pretty good university. Actually, you know that it is also famous, right?
Yes.
And the interesting part is we had another lab we have the pretty good friendship with them, also doing human computer interaction, and we had a lot of collaborations, and also the university ABI is Auckland Bioengineering Institute, which is the department we are in, also give us a lot of support. And after we moved from Singapore to the University of Auckland, we also have brought a lot of projects or a lot of ideas, because ABI is more about bioengineering, and what we were doing is more about computers, a little bit of computer science and a little bit about human. And then we are trying to develop new technologies and to deliver to, which looks pretty fancy, and which is also very interesting. So at that time, we will do a lot of projects, and we gain a lot of support from ABI, fundings, and also spaces. We have many rooms. We have our labs. We have our tools. We can use our 3D printers. A lot of resources. So I think we were pretty happy. We were pretty happy and lucky that we got so many supportings from university, and that's also one part that I like the university very much. And also the people there are very, very friendly.
Great. So before moving to University of Auckland, your internship in Singapore University of Technology and Design, how has the experience been there with the University of Singapore Technology, the Singapore University of Technology and Design?
Singapore University of Technology Design was also was actually a very new university, and they also got a lot of funding, a lot of supporting from the government. So they also have very good machines. They have a laser cutter. They have pretty good 3D printers. So, and we also have a big room there. So actually our whole team moved from the Singapore University of Technology and Design to the University of Auckland. So at both sides, we had a lot of resources and a lot of supportings. So both sides, I think I enjoy the environment. But the only different thing is, from personal speaking, the weather in New Zealand is much better than Singapore, because Singapore is a little bit hot, right? And inside the rooms it will be pretty very cold because of the air
conditioning.
Yeah. But after you go to the New Zealand, then the weather itself is pretty good. So I enjoy the weather there, and also there are a lot of good places you can travel around. Yeah,
absolutely. So speaking of after the PhD that you completed, you moved into as a product manager at Shopee. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes, and then you moved into moved as a senior human computer interactions engineer at Oppo. Could you please tell us a bit about how has your experience being working for a company like Oppo? It's a giant global company right now. So that experience of working for such an organization as a senior engineer.
My experience in Oppo is actually pretty good, and for now, Oppo is heading to as you can see, actually, as you can see, or you can find this kind of news on internet. In 2019, Oppo already announced its strategy. The next strategy is going to the Internet of Things, or Internet of Everything. You can you can consider it as Internet of Everything. And for me, personally speaking, it's a century, or it's a time that all the things around you probably will become very, very smart, and the environment around you probably will understand you better than yourself. So probably one day you will find that when you're going home, some of the appliances will already be working there, and probably the aircon will already like like working and make the room pretty cold or in a great temperature for you in the summer. So to step into such kind of century, I think we need to work a lot. And as Oppo, we have a lot of like products. As you see, we have smartwatches, we have smartphones, and we have other hardwares. So one important topic is how we can connect these devices together. So I think this is one important topic that we need to look at. And also people in the future, I think people will have very, very different experience on our technologies.
Yeah, it's an amazing time to live in, because with the strategies and with the vision that these companies have towards the future of these technologies. So now that we came to the point of smart surroundings and human computer interactions, could you please tell us a bit about what human computer interactions is? Because a lot of listeners who is listening to this podcast, they might not have much of an idea about what HCI is. So could you please give us a brief introduction what HCI is?
HCI actually is a little bit complex because it's a little bit different from other subjects. Some other subjects might only focusing on one topic or one specific area or specific technology, but HCI is more like a problem-solving topic. So if I see, I tell you, I want to design a technology or design hardware that's much easier for people to type in. Then what you can do is not only like using hardwares, but also you can use some other tools like projection. Or example for projection, you have a wearable devices on your hand. So that means HCI is mainly about how we can solve a problem and make the interaction more and more efficient. So sometimes we don't care what kind of technology we are using. We can explore new technologies. We can use existing technologies, or we can even create new sensors, new devices. So it's really hard from technology or skill set to define HCI. It's more like we leverage all resources, all our skills, and we design a new information communication. It's more like this. So how I express myself, how I express my intention to the machine, and how the machine does this thing for me. So this is the main purpose of human-computer interaction.
Great. So with talking about human-computer interactions, and I think your PhD research was also in human-computer interactions, if I am correct.
Yes.
Yes. So could you please give us a bit of background about what was your research? I mean, I know about it, but then our listeners need to get a bit more understanding about the
can
PhD.
of course, no problem. Yeah. So actually my topic was just about like making the environment more and more smart. And as you know, if we want to interact with the environment, we need to input our information or our intention into the environment, and then in fact environment do something for you, right? So my part is more about how we can input this kind of information to the environment. And specifically what I did is using touch interaction. As you know, we already using touch interaction on our smart devices like smartwatch or smartphones. But what if the environment becomes smart? Then how you can touch on the environment? That's one interesting topic that I want to explore. So in my research, I will actually introduce two projects of my PhD work. and to give you example how we can enable touch interactions on every surface instead of on like pre-designed smart screen. Yeah.
Yes. So could you please take us a bit in depth for the research that you conducted about the prototypes that you developed in
Yeah,
terms of
can.
touch interactions?
Yeah, can. Uh, I can share my screen and show like one or two videos, right?
Yes, sure.
To yeah, to do this demo. Okay, let me share my screen. So this project is more about design a portable system which we can use to make our surfaces touch sensitive. So after we put this system on the table, then table can sense people's touch. And if we put it on the wall can sense people's touch. So that's the main idea of this project. Okay, now let's see the video. So as you can see, we have 3 sensors on the table and 1 emitters on the finger. Then the table is touch sensitive. So we can not only check like 2 fingers, but also we can check the force of the finger. And here is we tested the system on different surfaces like glasses, walls, like wood tables, and this is pretty robust. So what we did is actually we have 1 emitter, signal emitter, and we have 3 sensors. By analyzing the signals from the finger to the surface, then we can know where the finger is. Here is like a small demo. People can just draw a piano, and after calibration, they can just play the piano. Like small games, people can play against each other. Yeah, this is a small slider. So this system, basically we are using acoustic signals. So the signal is emitted on the finger and then received on the sensors, and then we can know where the people is touching. And this system is very, very portable. So you can just put it on the table and do very, very simple calibration, and you can just use it to control. This is another example. I think is pretty fit for the Internet of Things. Like then if you put a sensor on the wall, then the wall itself becomes a controller. You don't have to use another switches. Yeah, this is one project to give you guys a big idea about what I was doing. And then this is a second one. So this project is, I want to explore further how we can carry the touch sensing capabilities around on humans' body, but not on everyday surfaces. We can still touch on everyday surfaces, but the sensing capability is on humans' body. So what I did is I designed another wearable device. Like I use a very, very small IMU, and we put the IMU on the finger. Then the finger has the capability to sense touch. Yeah, so it's mainly the sensor. What the sensor does is mainly like tracking the signal, the IMU signal on the finger. So because when human is touching the table or when it's hovering in the air, the signal is actually different. The finger actually will traveling. It will like fluctuate, but human cannot see, but the sensor can know. So leveraging on this information, what we do is we create a very, very small touch sensor on the fingernail. then everything becomes touch sensitive, because the touch sensing capability actually is on your hand, it's not on the surface. And as you can see here, we have a mouse, but without any like hardware. It's just your finger becomes a mouse. Yeah, we have a lot of touch sense cases. Yeah. And to demonstrate its capability, we do some applications. And as you can see, this is a mouse. So we can do scroll, we can do click, or we can do right click or left click. And we can also just move the cursor around without dragging. And this can also be used to facilitate AR or XR interactions, because the computer vision technology, the touch sense technology, sometimes is not reliable. So if we have a small sense on the finger, then our touch sense is more reliable. And also we can like control music just with our fingers, with our hand, without any like hardwares or smartphones. You just use your hand as a controller. This is pretty cool. And backup device interaction, and we also have this kind of use case. We can control a smartwatch, because smartwatch is pretty small. Sometimes we cannot control it very accurately. Yeah, as you can see, these two projects, the main topic is touch interaction on every surfaces. So what HCI do is we find different ways to solve this problem, and probably one of this technology can be useful in the future in one scenario, but not all scenarios, probably just one scenario, but that's is just the contribution of HCI research. Yeah, so that's my project's introduction. Thanks.
Yes, great. So that's like pretty cool stuff that we saw there. So it's really interesting to sit down at the other end and listen for these demonstrations. So yeah, moving from there, from the University of Auckland to as a senior human computer interactions engineer at Oppo. So how is the scope of work that you have at Oppo? What is the scope of work that you are doing in Oppo? I mean, you might be having certain constraints in speaking about it within the scopes and within the limitations and the boundaries that you have. Could you please give us a brief description about the scope of work that you carry out at Oppo?
Okay. Actually, for now, my work. To be honest, my work is more. Some of the projects I'm doing now is more like pretty secret, so I cannot talk too much. But what I can see is, as I said, Oppo is working towards like the Internet of Things, Internet of Everything. So we have lots of interesting projects we are exploring. So we are working for this kind of future interaction scenarios or future interaction technologies. So we explore in very different ways from like traditional we are doing for smartphones, or just make it more powerful. It's not like this. We're exploring new ways what we can do for this kind of hardwares. So probably in the future you can see one or two products that have done that is done by us. Yeah.
Okay, so what are the current products that you have in Oppo when it comes to the plans of Oppo for moving forward for these Internet of Things? I mean, how do you see it from yourself, from your perspective, the current developments that would be there, incorporating the current products that are out there right now?
For now, we have actually Oppo already has many products like smart TV, like the headphones, because for now the headphone also has pretty good functions like touch, or sometimes it can set something. So this headphone is also pretty powerful. And also like smartwatch, Oppo has smartwatch. Oppo has AR glasses, as you can see. So basically, these devices for now, they are like separate. Although we see they are like smartwatch, we call it smart, but actually they are not that smart. They are like still themselves. They are working for themselves. So for Internet of Things or Internet of Everything, what probably we need to do is to make them talk to each other, like in a smart way. It's not like use one to control another. It's more like different products will have in a much more smarter way. They can connect to each other. They can do collaborate with each other. It's more like this. So that needs humans or like engineers work to see how we can improve them.
Yes, great. So just moving forward from there. So working for like we discussed, working for a company like Oppo, a giant global technological company.
Mm.
So if you wanted to give any message to any other young researcher or any other young academic who is looking forward for such opportunities in those similar capacity, so
Mm.
are there any opportunities or any programs that have been carried out by Oppo itself for any graduates or similar kind, any opportunities that they put out just for the
Yes.
knowledge of our.
Yeah. There are actually a lot of opportunities. If you check the website of Oppo, you can see we are hiring. We have lot of openings. Like we hear uh, programmers, we hear like engineers, we hear product managers. A lot of openings, and we welcome like undergraduates, masters, doctors. Everyone is more like as long as you are interested in technology and there is some jobs like suitable for you, Oppo will welcome. So also like we have a lot of internship opportunities. So if really like if you really want to join Oppo or join other like this kind of companies, so what I would encourage you to do is just start from like doing internships. So you can after doing internships, you will find out two things. First is you will know whether you want to do really in a company or whether you want to do in academia, because these are two different areas. And the second one is in after doing internships, you will know how a company is working, and you will know the rules of different jobs inside. So probably then you will find out more about what kind of jobs or what kind of works you that you really want to do. Because even like you are a student in computer science, probably you have a lot of opportunities, different opportunities you can try, you can pursue. So uh, I think this will also help your background, like when you are like submitting your CV or you're applying for the jobs, you will get more chances if you have more internships. Yeah.
Great. So right now you are based in China, is it?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm based in China.
Okay. So all these opportunities for internships and other employment opportunities, are they open for like a global crowd by Oppo?
Yeah. We actually we have offices at different countries, as far as I know. We have I think in USA and
Yes.
also in Asia, in other places. You can check out on our website. I think there are a lot of information there. And the job openings are, I think, it's pretty dynamic. Sometimes we will have some openings, but in some small offices, if the jobs are taken, then it's gone. So just check it out and apply as early as possible.
Yes, I think that would be an interesting piece of information for or any of the people, any of the undergraduates or graduates who are looking for such opportunities, just to find that breakthrough. You need to just go into the real world of technological engineering. So yeah, with that we have come to the end of today's session, and yeah, so I would like to take a moment to thank Mr. Yilei Shi for accepting our invitation and joining with us for
Thanks.
the this episode of Tech Talks 101 powered by F Code Labs. And also thank you very much for the previous conversations also that we had, investing your time on that in preparation for this
Yeah.
podcast. So Yeah, so we wish you all the best with your future endeavors and your career
Thank you. Thank
progressions.
you for the invitation.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you.
yes, it's my privilege to have you here. So thank you very much. And for all the listeners out there, so we will be again getting in touch with you with another fresh episode of Tech Talks 101. So this has been a very interesting piece of discussion during this 30 minutes, last 30 minutes that we have had. So we'll be back again with such interesting discussions. Until then, stay in touch, stay safe, stay healthy, have a good night. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.